This 1 Degree Outside video is brought to you by Fluid Form Bio, developing innovative 3D printing living pancreatic tissue to help combat type 1 diabetes. For the first time, you can join this visionary mission. Visit fluidformbio.com or their page on Start Engine to learn more about this exciting work. Pattern predictions every Monday. We look out to the next 2 weeks because you can get the 14-day on our app. But the question is, why does the forecast look the way it does? Look, hundreds of you now have jumped on with our memberships, membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Check it out. See if there's anything in there that you might like. We appreciate every one of you who've jumped on board. If you love meteorology, you might love the exclusive content that we can deliver with that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right into the jet stream and show you what's going on here. First of all, one thing that we've been doing is kind of replacing the persistent trough or dip in the jet stream with a ridge. Now, when you get a ridge, that puts you on the warm side of the jet stream. Remember, the jet stream that we've indicated here, the fast wind or river of air high in the sky that flows along, steers disturbances and separates cool air to the north from warm to the south. So to get in a ridge or a bump in that jet stream means you're getting into the warm air. And that's the summer warmth that we get the taste of today. In our insights videos, we've been talking about the fact that you've got wildfire smoke that's on the way, the pollen count goes up and all of that, right? Okay, well, here's the other part of that is that basically as you get into Thursday, you get what we call shortwave, which is essentially an energetic disturbance that produces a short wave in the jet stream winds. That's where that term comes from, right? You've got long waves, which are these big waves in the jet stream, and then you've got the shorter ones. The shorter ones are the disturbances, and what that's going to do for us Thursday is spark thunderstorms, particularly in northern and central New England. We'll see how many of them make it into southern New England. But it also begins this new pattern, so that by Saturday, we've been talking about how rain may be in the forecast again. It certainly is an elevated chance right now. As of this video, I just did the insights a short time ago. We talked about 80% or so chance for Saturday. Why? Because another one of these little disturbances, another short wave, is coming through the atmosphere, and we are still into the warmth at that point. So that means that showers and storms, or maybe a consolidated rain if a little area of low pressure could develop at the surface, would have to come through here on Saturday for a time. The interesting thing after that is you do not see a big, deep trough being carved out in the atmosphere. But what you do still see is the jet stream wind very close to us. In fact, a ridge or a big dome of warm, high pressure is developing over the southeastern United States, even all the way down across Florida into the Bahamas. But we are right on the edge of the jet stream winds. That means multiple disturbances, and that means an elevated chance of showers and thunderstorms. So in pattern predictions last week, I had said, look, if you love thunderstorms, that we were going into that type of a pattern as we headed into the start of June. That still appears to be the case. And as you go through each day, yes, you do find the heat building, right? That's the surface temperature that I've colored in on here, the black lines, barometric pressure. But notice as we get out, let's say through the second week in the period, next week, most of that deep heat that keeps surging is either in the nation's midsection or across the southern United States. We do get these rounds of deeper heat like you've got this week that may last you a couple of days, but it's not a long running heat because you never get into a really well-established jet stream ridge. And that's why when you look at the forecast, there's the spike in heat that comes, of course, degraded air quality. We talked about that in the Insights video as well, but then you're right back down closer to normal, above normal for the overall period, but nonetheless, you find these little spikes of a couple of days and that's it. Certainly we're into the growing season big time here. We're also into the mosquito breeding season. Keep that in mind as well. Bug spray becoming more and more important now as we head into the coming couple of weeks. And in terms of the chance of showers and storms, there's the elevated chance as we get that short wave, which comes with a cold front as we get into Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We dry out a bit after that, and you see the elevated chance returning thereafter. So when you put it all together and look at, let's say, the next 10 days and say, how much rain are we going to get? Most of the rain in the nation is going to be focused across the central and southern plains, into portions of the Midwest and even the Southeast. Here at home, we don't get as much, but again, you've got that increased propensity of showers and thunder. And you'll be able to track all of it with our app in the 14-day forecast. But now you know, as you see some of the changes along the way, why that's happening. So we think about what may change in that 14-day, certainly the timing of showers and thunderstorms as we head to the upcoming weekend, or the days that will be focused on toward the end of next week as we get into that active shower and thunderstorm pattern again. That's the way things look for the next 2 weeks here at Pattern Predictions. I'll look forward to seeing you with the monthly forecast, even more of an expansion of these ideas coming up later on today.